things ain't been going too good for Gunna. Kinda. So, he got released because he took the plea and now he's back home and he made a post and people weren't too happy about his post. A lot of people were upset with him because he technically snitched. Now, Gunna came back and for whatever reason decided to post. I think he was testing the waters, but he came on and he said this. Niggas acting like they switching to a side, but it's only one side. YSL the label, Free Thug, Yak, Gunna back. Now, of course, everybody's looking at it like, bro, like, what are you talking about? You just told, bro, like, how are you talking about YSL the label? Now, Lil Baby just unfollowed Gunna on Instagram recently. Now, as we know, Lil Baby and Young Thug, they get along. Gunna, that whole camp, they're all cool. Like, I know Lil Baby has his own camp, and Young Thug, Gunna, they got their own camp. But still, those three, they mingle. Lil Baby unfollowed Gunna. And the reason being is because Gunna, by street terminology, is a snitch. Now, me personally, I don't care about snitches and snitching and all of that. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm not going to even sit here and act like I care about snitch this or snitch that. However, it is a pertinent situation that's happening here because Gunna's career is on the line here. Gunna's career is very much on the line. People are starting to separate themselves from him. People are starting to draw lines, and the whole industry is waiting to see what happens. The whole industry is waiting to see what the narrative is going to be. See, because this one, it wasn't like the 6ix9ine situation. It wasn't as easy as Gunna taking a stand and pointing to Jeffrey and saying, yes, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am. He did it. It didn't happen like that. It was a lot more of a murky kind of snitch, a misty, foggy snitch, where Gunna sat there and literally agreed with the judge that YSL is a gang, that he has personal knowledge of crimes committed by the organization. He also proceeded to then sign a plea that legally binds him to testify against Jeffrey and the rest. And if he does not choose to testify against King Slime and all of that, he goes back to jail. So naturally, some people in the YSL camp, like Lil Got It, aren't too happy with Gunna, whereas some people like Unfunk are apparently cool with him. Either way, a lot of people are split on this. Boosie been calling Gunna a snitch for the longest. He been cussing the shit out, bro. He been cussing Gunna out, bro, over this snitch shit. And now Lil Baby, unfollowed Gunna. He's done with Gunna because Gunna's apparently a snitch. Now, I'm gonna explain this from an organizational standpoint. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. For YSL, y'all already know I'm anti-gang. Y'all already know I'm anti-street gang. Y'all already know that I'm against all of that. But let's play devil's advocate for YSL for a second. For those people who are sitting there talking about Gunna not a snitch, bruh. Gunna ain't no snitch, bruh. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Wake up, okay? Wake up. When the gang's official statement is we are not a, we know YSL's a gang, but when YSL is saying to the whole world, specifically the state of Georgia, we are not a gang, we are a record label. That's what they're saying. We're not a gang, we're a record label. And then you gonna come along and admit to the judge that YSL is a gang. You're not helping anything. Kevin Lyles done got up in there and cried and wiped his eyes and he done did all this bullshit. All these people done went up there and swore on their mothers, on the Bible, their soul, everything that YSL is just a record label. Just a record label. And here come Gunna talking about, yes ma'am, YSL's a gang. I'm sorry, bro, but that's textbooks, bro. You're not helping YSL by doing that. Gunna hurt everyone else in exchange for helping himself with that move. Then they ask him, do you have personal knowledge of crimes that YSL has committed? He said, yeah. So you're literally saying, yes, YSL's a gang and they've committed crimes and I have knowledge of those crimes too. Even if you don't tell them what those crimes are, you're still snitching because YSL is saying, look, we're not even a gang. We don't do no gang shit. We don't got no crimes. So here you got a member of YSL saying, actually, Your Honor, there are crimes and I'm aware of them. There are crimes and I'm aware of them. How is that not snitching? And last but not least, another one, hold on. The judge then asked Gunna, you got caught up with Jeffrey being in possession of illicit drugs and guns. You acknowledge that those illicit items are not yours, right? And Gunna says, yes, ma'am. Conflicting reports have said one of two things. A, it was just Gunna and Jeffrey in that car. So if it ain't Gunna's, whose is it? Other people have been saying that it was Gunna, Jeffrey, and someone else in that car. Either way, you're taking the blame from yourself and saying, it ain't mine. So whose is it? Even if Young Thug ain't the only other person in the car, it still leaves Young Thug and somebody else. What are we talking about? Now, last but not least, you took a plea that legally binds you to testifying against Jeffrey and the boys. And if you don't testify, you go back to jail, bro. I'm sorry, big dog, but that sounds like snitching to me. I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. I'm gonna just keep it 100, bro. That sounds like snitching to me. Because even if you haven't taken the stand against Jeffrey and the rest of them yet, you have legally agreed to the state that you will testify. You have legally agreed to the state that you are willing to testify in court against Jeffrey and the rest. I'm sorry, bruh, but to me, that is basically snitching. You've put your entire organization at risk for your own personal freedom. You have agreed to testify to protect yourself. How is that not snitching? Look, I'm not saying Gunna deserves I don't care about it. I'm just saying that the industry needs to be either A, be consistent and hold Gunna accountable, or B, grow the fuck up and stop celebrating street culture and street shit. It is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.